Nigeria, you're most welcome to the Nile Cast on West Nile Television, where we give you the daily news bulletins of the day, every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. My name is Okumaringa Christine. Before we dive into any of the stories, let's first have a look at the news making headlines. In the headlines tonight, River Inyao Bridge construction delayed.
By today, we should be at about 60% of our time duration.
Office of the Auditor General engages the media in Arua City.
Through your work, you can see something you're not seeing, and you take our attention. We help people concerned to do this now.
And Koboko's General Hospital Maternity Ward commissioned.
The honor and privilege that today we open and commission this maternity ward.
It's Thursday, the 23rd of March 2023, and you're most welcome to the Nile Cast on West Nile Television. Now let us dive into some of the stories of the evening. The construction of the two bridges on River Inyao that started last year in October is remaining with 2 months to be completed, according to the contract signed between Arua District and the contractor Nemes Establishment Company. However, the delay of the works at the two sites is making the members of public disappointed to query whether there will be value for money. Joseph Jurua reports more.
The leaders of Arua District are optimistic of the completion of Inyao Bridge construction works. This assurance was made amidst delayed completion of the construction works on the two bridges since October 2022. According to the site engineer for Nemes Establishment, a company contracted to undertake the construction of the two bridges, Chaco Fred, said that the works are expected to have reached 60%, but for various reasons, the work is still at tender stage.
By today, we should be at about 60% of our time duration for the construction of this bridge. The construction works is expected to take about 8 months by the terms and conditions in the contract. And as I said, we should have consumed about 60% of the time given for the works. In terms of the physical progress, we should be at about 40% of our physical progress in terms of the construction works.
He assured the local community not to be worried of the labor force since there is adequate manpower for the work.
We have an 100% nationality recruitment. We don't have an international labor force recruited on site, and indeed we pledged to the community since the commencement of the project that we shall make advantage of this project to make sure all the community members benefit in one way or the other. Put on ground is to make sure I have adequate labor that can do what I want at a particular time. When another labor, like any specialty labor is required at another site, I have to shift. That shifting should not worry the community. The shifting of labor, shifting of materials should not worry the community.
One of the challenges that were encountered and delayed the progress was during the excavation process that saw them land on a hard rock. Meanwhile, as the rains return, there are worries of delaying the work further.
When we started the earthworks excavations, we met the challenge of the rock. Up to the next end of even blasting the rock after trying all the possible ways. Finally, after blasting the rock, then we had to achieve the required level of the depth for our excavation to start the construction works.
The good thing is the activities they are doing does not stop them from proceeding with the other. Like per now, they are doing reinforcement on this bridge one, on this bridge to right, on this bridge two. At the same time, on bridge one, they are draining water using a generator to create them space to do work. So for now, I am not seeing any much challenge.
That thing to heal properly, it needs what? Water. If water keeps flowing down, the water that is poured, I have seen them even going to hawker to buy blankets. They hang blankets there, they pour water so that water is all the time there on the wall. So let's leave it to them. But for me, I want to say all the stakeholders, we must have our eyes wide open.
Alfred Okonji, the district LC5 chairperson, assured the public not to be worried of the rains as the engineering department is determined of delivering. And he added that some of the delays might be as a result of delayed release of funds.
Problem of release of funds from the World Bank to the contractor. It took a bit of time. Okay, so that is a technical issue. We shouldn't really divulge so much on that. Ours is that the bridge must be a quality bridge that can last for over, the engineers say over 100 years, others say 200 years. But for me, as a leader, I am after the quality work.
The construction of the two bridges on River Inyao is expected to be completed in 8 months, starting from 4th October 2022. Joseph Chura, West Nile TV, Nile Cast.
And more in our stories for the evening. The Office of the Auditor General, Arua Regional Office, engaged the media representatives of Arua District in a bid to equip journalists with information using the Office of the Auditor General's reports to bring issue-researched and evidence-based stories to the public and to ensure improvement of service delivery in the West Nile region. Let's have more on that story. The Office of the Auditor General Arua branch has pledged partnership with media representatives in Arua District in order to collectively ensure the improvement of service delivery in the West Nile region. This pledge was made during the media engagement with the Office of the Auditor General at Golden Courts Hotel in Arua City.
Arua, we are number one. For us, we aspire to be a model region office that adds value to society through our professional audit approaches. The branch is committed to providing its stakeholders with independent results that promote good governance for better service delivery. Due to various interventions we've made as an office and as our partners. Our partners, what do I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, we have what we call a tripartite. To remind me, tripartite what? Where we are PPDA, IGG, and Oxygen. You work together. In this meeting, we have called the media. I think we are going to add them to be the fourth. Because we want you to help us. Because we cannot say everything. But through your work, you can see something we have not seen. And you bring to our attention. And we help improve on service delivery in this country.
The Principal Auditor in charge of the Office of the Auditor General Arua Regional Office, Martin Mambuza, provided the key issues and findings affecting service delivery in the West Nile region.
We undertook a review of interventions to assess the extent of service delivery. You talked about the video. We have heard about the people arrested. And just last week, His Excellency did have kind words for those who were misusing those funds. Funds were repurposed. Funds dispersed to circles varied from one deal to the other. We observed that funds dispersed to circles as revolving funds in the island government remained idle. The same thing they say. The money came and it sat there. And I'm sure up to today it has sat. We heard that entities did not have titles. You've heard of people fighting for land, government land. There are so many markets around, people are fighting for land. So because you would not title, some of the same shopping land and wakes up, for him he runs very fast and creates a title. Before you know it, you are fighting with that person for the same land. So we found out that and we raised it to Parliament, and I'm sure they will sit at Parliament and they will come up with a collective action to that effect. Ladies and gentlemen, you know that before you spend, there should be a budget. And we are failure to realize all planned revenue is negatively affecting the provision of services to the communities. Okay? Failure to fully utilize these funds. But people are now fearing to just spend aimlessly.
The purpose of the media engagement was to equip journalists with information using the Office of the Auditor General reports to bring the issue-based, research-oriented and evidence-loaded stories to the public. Okumuringa Christine, West Nile Television, Nile Cast. And more in our stories for the evening. Shillings 2 billion fully furnished maternity ward at Koboko Hospital funded. by the United Nations High Commission for Refugees yesterday was commissioned by the State Minister of Health on General Duties, Honorable Anifa Kawoya, together with the UNHRC Deputy Representative Jason Hapes. Emmanuel Agele reports more.
It's my honor and privilege that today we open and commission this maternity ward.
The Minister of State for Health in charge of general duties, Honorable Anifa Kawoya Bangirana, together with the United Nations High Commission for Refugee Deputy Representative Jason Hapes, handed over Koboko Hospital Maternity Ward to Koboko District Local Government. The 2.2 billion shillings fully furnished maternity ward, funded by UNHCR, have the leaders and the local communities say the facility has helped to reduce the pressure from the current maternity ward, and they have appreciated the government for such intervention.
Madam Guest of Honor, if my members of parliament will knock your door, I seek that you grant them the permission, because Koboko is a unique district. Bordering 2 international countries, the pressure on us is too much. The health facility deliveries is 250 per month. Just imagine if we deliver 250 per month, and you go to that current facility, only 1 bed, 2 beds in delivery beds, and you see the pressure on the midwives, and you see the pressure on the facility we have. Our mothers are going to have rest. When you will be giving birth, you have comfort. And the reason why we are starting to operate this, besides the main one, we have assigned 1 full doctor here, and the rest of doctors are going to operate up. So that if mothers assess those who need Caesar, we take them at early age, and they'll be waiting in that small facility that we have. But those who are very strong, like the mama who came yesterday, they will be accommodated here. So it means we are going to have less pressure there, but many of the deliveries are going to be in the current facility.
We are now looking at a facility that is directly feeding into a manifesto of the NRM that is of socio-economic transformation. There is no way people can go to the middle income, which we are fighting for as a government, as a party, without having healthy people. And actually today, a guest of honor, you can witness that the fertility rates of Koboko are quite high. Even here, when you count the women who are pregnant, visibly and non-visibly, there are many. But this all is a result of the government, the intervention the government have had in child care and child health care, in the public health care, and also the peace which we are enjoying.
James Baba, Koboko County Member of Parliament, has demanded that the resources of the district should not be scattered, but instead prioritize them.
The biggest challenge here now, which has been mentioned, but you have produced something without a major element attached to it, and that is the theatre. Let's put our heads together so that this theatre can be built. I believe the design is already there. It is just now funding for implementation. You cannot have mothers delivering and developing complications and not being helped immediately. So, Honourable Minister, my plea through you, UNHCR, and to all good-willing people, that the first priority should be the theatre.
The Member of Parliament for Koboko Municipality, Dr. Charles Ayume, has vowed to see that the hospital is completed, and he has further urged parents to send children to school, as the hospital will partly solve the unemployment issues.
Let us get out of this sleep of all the time saying government has brought a hospital here. So let us send our children to school. Because a hospital cannot work with machines only. Unaweka dawa hapa, then banga anaingia anatoa dawa yake anakwenda. No, there has to be daktari, there has to be a nurse, there has to be a pharmacist, there has to be a lab technician, and so forth. So it is important we send children to school. The hospital will provide direct employment for 200 people. That is the normal staffing, paid for by government. Paid for by government. And we are talking of unemployment when we have brought a hospital here.
UNHCR is contented to have made this asset as part of the ways to strengthen the district health system and hoping it will prompt other development partners in meeting their commitments to Uganda in the spirit of global impact on refugees.
As I said, Koboko is and has been a model refugee hosting district. From the time of arrival of refugees, Koboko's leadership requested support to manage yourselves the situation. You didn't ask others to come in and do it for you. You did it yourselves. And we came in to give the support that we could to you. You have done it. Thank you. The United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees in Uganda is pleased to have made this investment, which we expect will provide the basis for other development partners to come in and help you, Uganda, finish the job. I would also like to use this platform to urge other refugee hosting districts to come to Koboko to meet the local authorities and district officials and learn from the good model that you have done. It's my honor to hand over this fully equipped and high standard 50-bed maternity ward to the leadership of the district local government. This will deservingly serve families, mothers, and newborns of the District 12, including refugees and Ugandans alike. Thank you.
The guest of honor for the commissioning of the maternity ward, Honorable Anifa Kaweya, the Minister of State for Health in charge of general duties, has commended the leaders for working as a team to execute government projects.
After saying that, I trust our mission today will strengthen further partnership with our donors. All our donors headed by UNHCR, this is not the only thing. They have done a lot of things in this region, in Western region, and to the Ministry of Health. You chose it right to say that in matters of health, no one can go it alone. Globally, we work together. That is why it is called humanity. So we have to bring our hands together to ensure that we touch the hearts of the many and many majority that cannot sustain themselves in terms of health. And as a ministry, as a government, we can't do it on our own.
The state-of-art 50-bed maternity ward of Koboko Hospital, which is fully equipped, is funded by United Nations High Commission for Refugees and will serve the district's families, including Ugandans and refugee communities. And the first baby was delivered on the handover day and named after the UNHCR Deputy Representative, Jason Hebbs. Emmanuel Agele, West Nile TV Nile Cast.
And to end our Nile Cast for the evening, today afternoon, the Parliament of the Republic of Uganda had a special sitting to commemorate the first anniversary of the passing of the late Right Honourable Speaker Jacob Olanya, former Speaker of Parliament. The motion to pay special tribute to the former Speaker of Parliament was moved by the Prime Minister and also the Leader of Government, Business Right Honourable Rubina Manabanja, and seconded by the Leader of Opposition in Parliament, Honorable Matthias Mpunga. Let's have more on that story.
I want to thank the people of Omoro for electing my brother Andrew to extend the legacy of the late. You people of Omoro, I salute you. This man may not fit well in his late daddy's feet. Be patient with him. I'm very much sure by the third term we will be already there to fulfill all the desires of the man.
Jacob Olanya was one of the finest public officers this country has had. Right that we remember him. He was a personal friend. Whose distinct qualities stood him way, way above many of the public officers this country has had. The member holding the floor should address the Speaker, not the Speaker and honorable members. That is not accepted practice, and he was disturbed by it. He had promised to talk to members about it, Mr. Speaker. I suggest finally that in honor of this man who was distinctly in his own class, as far as this country is concerned, we should go back and remind ourselves about standard practices when it comes to our general conduct in this house.
When we try to apply them on you, the corridors become hot. Members run out. But I think slowly by slowly, because there are some members, for example, I've attached to senior colleagues for mentorship after observing your weaknesses.
The late Jacob told us one thing, that you are now the people representative. You must have to exercise tolerance in whatever things that you are going to do. Jacob advised us to be consistent, that if there are issues which that issues are not being attended to, do not waver or drop them. Be consistent and remain on that ground. The Right Honorable Jacob, who has already left us, he advised us to stand by one another, to support each other.
Proud that we have supported him and he became a speaker before he died. And I want to say, may his soul rest in peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister for Health.
To the people of Omoro, I know they are here. There are many projects that he had started. There are many projects that I went with him to Omoro and he talked about. And I know the Honorable Andrew Olanya here has the responsibility to see that they come to an end. We shall work on it together when this parliament gives me money.
His calm demeanor and smirky smile that you could tell was from his heart. It was very easy to distinct a leader who was not populist but cared about the demands and the well-being of Ugandans in this country.
I would appeal to the government, Honorable Speaker, when a resolution is passed in this House, in Parliament, let it be fulfilled. Let the government continue with the project which he began. Let the government really have him be remembered in whatever the building, not only the day that we are commemorating today or celebrating. Me, when I was inducted into World Olympian for Life in 2021, this same Parliament passed a resolution that they would build a theater in my health center. Up to now, I think they're waiting until I die, then they would praise me. Honorable Speaker, let the thing put right. If somebody passes on a thing, let the person be praised forever and should be remembered for what person has done. This is what I would appeal to you, colleagues, Member of Parliament. I want to thank you for that, and may God bless you all. Thank you.
And with that story, viewer, we've come to the end of the Nile Cast on West Nile Television. Thank you for being with us from the beginning of the Nile Cast to the end of the Nile Cast, only on West Nile Television. Please stay tuned to the rest of the subsequent programs that follow. My name is Akumaringa Christine. Have a good evening.